Well, Coach, as you go into this Easter break here, you're winding down with spring practice, but not yet done. Another big week coming up before you have the spring game. But how would you assess your team's progress to this point of the spring?
Well, the big thing is I love the competitiveness that they're showing, the intensity in practice. 10 out of these first 11 practices have been great. Now, we've had one that wasn't up to our standard, but other than that, we've had a lot of competition. Defense is really making the offense work, and the offense is really performing at a high level. So I love the competitiveness. I love the energy. We got great energy out there on the field, and that's how you get better as a football team, is competing, going out there and making sure we sort of call it organized chaos. That's what we want to see. It's almost like a game. Try to get as close as you can to game conditions and put them in different situations. That's what football is all about, is being able to handle different situations. And so far, our guys have done a really good job in that.
What have you seen out of the offense? Obviously, some overhaul with some players that have gone through the portal and graduation. What have you seen out of your offense, quarterback on down?
Well, it starts the quarterback position, and Lex Thomas and Isaac Lee are both neck and neck right now. This competition will go all the way till camp, I believe. They both give you what I want out of a quarterback, and that is a guy who's a great distributor of the ball, a very efficient guy who gets a lot of completions. But one thing they add, and Tiger had that too, was the ability to make plays, extend plays with their feet. They both can run. They're very fast, very elusive, and can extend plays and create big plays. So like what we see there. I think the offensive line, we have hit on some really good guys. I think some of the guys that maybe weren't quite ready last year has really showed that they're ready to play with a great offseason with Coach Bates, our strength and conditioning coach. We've got bigger there. We're stronger. We're more physical. We're moving the line of scrimmage. And I like that because we wanted to really improve on our run game to get more balance in our offense. And I see that this spring. And one of the reasons why is not only have you a big, huge offensive line that's getting movement at the line of scrimmage, but we've got a tailback, Josh Perry, who we redshirted last year, 205, 208 pounds, so a little bit bigger tailback, and he's having a phenomenal spring. And really has the speed to get in and out of cuts and out of holes, but he also finishes runs, which I like. I mean, every time he gets hit, he's getting 2 or 3 extra yards. So we're really excited about him, and feel like that we got a chance to be pretty good on that, as far as our run game. And then the receivers have, we got some really skilled guys. We got to find the best so far. A lot of them are trying to still learn the system. We got 3 more new young ones coming in the summer that we recruited. But we think all of them's got a chance to really help us and play, and we love the group that's come back. Ja Boyd and MJ, all them guys, and Colombo, we get him back. So we got some very quality, really quality receivers. And then you add the tight ends. Getting Jake back for his senior years, it'll be great. He's been sort of injured and sick a little bit, in and out of the lineup. But Bodie has really come on. We expect him to have a big time year for us. It's time for him to grow up. He's up to about 230-something, 240. And he's a 6'5" target across the middle. It'll really help us. So we really like that position. We probably got to find a 3rd or 4th guy there. But our first 2 or 3 are really good.
You talk about challenging your defense. Well, it's a challenge for the defense in that it's a whole new staff basically on that side of the ball. Just a couple of guys returning on the staff. What have you seen out of Coach Revese and his defense against your offense?
Well, when I did this interview process and tried to find the right guy, I felt like we needed somebody that could really relate to these players and really turn this thing around. We also got a lot of new players on the defense side. We had about a 2-year run there with a really good quality group of guys, but they all graduated, so this is a new squad, and what you're seeing is you're seeing a lot of competition. Almost every position's wide open. There's no coming back from their 3rd year starting. I mean, we've got a whole brand new group of guys who are all competing, and I love the way Coach Revese and the guys he's brought in here, coaches, and they're doing a tremendous job of making these guys play hard, play fast, play to the standard that we want them to play to. And I feel good right now where we're at on the defensive side. Yeah, with Blue out, right now because of the ACL, he tore back first of last year. He'll be ready to go in the summer. But Hank has really come on. He's got a lot of reps. He played a lot for us last year. Hank Bodine makes a lot of plays like his dad did, man. He's all over the field, very physical football player. Josh Collins, was a walk-on here from right down the street over near, what's that?
Bryson City.
Bryson City, yeah, over in that area. He's a really good. We moved him to linebacker a couple years or last year after playing running back for us, and man, he's got a chance to play a lot. Ryan McGinnis, we know, has got a very athletic, played a lot for us last year. He's been in and out of the lineup a little bit this spring, but we expect him to have a big year with Blue. With those other two, we feel good at that linebacker position. And then at D-line, we're going to have a lot of new young guys. That's still be the key. And I love their attitude, though. What we sort of went out and did in the past year, we've worried about size getting bigger and bigger. We might not have quite that size this year, but what we do, we have guys who are productive, guys who play hard, guys who compete every snap. And I think you'll see that in that D-line. Some of them are a little bit shorter than maybe you'd want, or here or there, but they all play and they all have been very productive where they come from. So we want to have that, and hopefully that'll help us. And then in the back end, we wanted to get a little bigger, especially at the safety position. We got some good young safeties that we think's ready to play. Coco Simpson is a kid that we think's got a special ability. All these kids, the kid we got from App State is going to be a ball player. So we've got some really good players. We feel good in that back end at the safety position that can really be a special talents for us. They're going to be so much bigger. Our corners are long, our safeties are long, and so we feel really good about the back end of our defense.
Well, you talked special, and I think Curry Webb would get on me if I didn't bring up the specialist and the special teams. A lot of competition there as well.
Well, there is. The first thing starts with the kicking game, and we got two young kids that both kicked a little bit for us last year, and so they'll have a big competition, and we'll see what happens there. We brought in a couple deep snappers that are competing, so we'll see where that goes. So it's a work in progress. We're getting a kid from Ireland, a punter that we think's got a big-time leg. Never played American football, but he's coming over here in the next month or so. We'll get him in. Unbelievable leg, and a lot of D1 schools are starting to recruit those guys from overseas. So we feel like he's going to really add to that competition at the punting position.
Well, you've got a work in progress on the field. You've got a work going on behind you in terms of the new Western Skybox. You've had a chance to go in there a couple of times here during the construction. Looking forward to seeing that again as it progresses. Spring game coming up. But again, that's just going to be a big addition to you guys.
Think about it. If you was here the last game of the season until the first game this year, you're going to see almost over $40 million worth of construction improvements to this stadium. And we've got this, we've been able to go up and tour our facility up there. It's going to be great for game day. It's also going to be great for our coaches to have new offices for our players. And so that's going to be tremendous. We're getting a new lighting system. That's going to be unbelievable. And then we're also going to have a new video board, new turf. So all those things are happening here. That's why we're getting through by April 11th, so all that can get done and have it ready for our first game.
How would you assess overall 30,000-foot level of your spring practice to this point, and what are you looking to accomplish in the final week and the spring game?
Well, again, I love the energy. I love the way we're competing. We're putting them in a lot of different situations, see how they react. It's going to come down. We've got some guys that are pretty even athletically. It's still come down to who really can play at that high level consistently, and that's what I've told them. And so we're trying to get that out of as many players as we can to be able to play at that level every day that we come to practice. And so we'll continue to watch that. We've got two or three practices here leading up to the spring game. And right now I'm very pleased with where we're at, but we need to have a couple of big-time practices Tuesday and Thursday, then one practice on Friday sort of get our teams ready. And we say, hey, here in the spring, we work for 14 days. But that 15th day, which is that spring game, I want them to have fun. So come out. I want a lot of fans here. We're going to have a draft, so we draft the teams. We make it really fun and competitive. And I want you to come out and support us and let these kids go out and play a really exciting game on Saturday.